Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Fortney, and I'm forging my way towards the finish line in the fourth quarter of life, posting videos along the way. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Presbycusis. Now that's age-related hearing loss. In retirement age couples, hearing loss can cause communication problems and relational stress if not handled correctly. Statistics tell us that between 50 and 75% of men in their 70s experience some form of measurable hearing loss. The numbers for the ladies are just about as bad, although they seem to lag behind the men in terms of when the onset of the problems occur. I'd like to pause here for a minute and remind you that age-related hearing loss is a degenerative physical problem, like osteoporosis or maybe arthritis. Your spouse has something wrong with one of the major sensory systems of their body. They can't hear you. They're not doing it just to irritate you. Before we go any further, I would like to say a couple words about hearing aids. Some people swear by them, but I'm not one of those people. My wife and I decided about 10 years ago that I should try hearing aids. I got a fairly expensive pair, about $1,800 above what the insurance allowance was. I wore them for about a month, and there was no meaningful improvement of our communication. So we mutually decided to send them back. And then, about a year and a half ago, I decided to try one of the highly rated hearing devices that you can buy on Amazon. It was on sale, and even that cost me about $200. Again, same results. Both devices just seemed to make everything louder, which really didn't improve our communication at all. So that one went back also. So how in the world can retirement age couples communicate effectively? In this video, I'm going to give you some tips and strategies that should improve the communication in your relationship and reduce the stress. So what should perfect communication technique look like in a marriage? It should look like playing catch with a water balloon at a kid's birthday party. That's right. Now some teams just throw that water balloon back and forth because they're trying to get the other team member wet. But there's always that one team that really wants to win the game. They are totally focused on getting that water balloon back and forth safely. They're totally engaged. The person that's throwing the water balloon is throwing it when the other person is ready to catch it, and the person that's catching it is focusing totally on the person that's throwing it. The end result usually is the water balloon doesn't get broken, and they've succeeded in winning the game. This approach of being totally committed to making it work and to focusing intently on each other lends itself well to communication also. So here comes the first tip. Tip 1. Never try to whisper to a spouse that has hearing loss. It never works. Both parties will become very frustrated with the encounter, so don't even try. Tip 2. It's important to realize that your spouse is not live streaming your thought processes. They are not inside your head. They are thinking about something totally different than what you are thinking about at the moment. They don't even know they're in a conversation with you, and they're not paying any attention to you. Speech comes from their thought processes. Now, the other person does not know it's coming, does not know what you're talking about, so they're liable to say the dreaded W word. What? Then the spouse who started talking will assume the spouse that they were talking to couldn't hear them. But that's not the case. The communication was not sent properly, and the other person was not ready to receive it. In a situation like this, do not say what. Say, I don't know what you were talking about, and I didn't realize that we were in a conversation. That will force the person that started talking to provide some context so you know what they're talking about. At that point, both parties know that they're involved in a conversation, context has been provided, and chances are the person that received the communication will be able to respond appropriately. But if you still don't get it, don't guess, because it'll be very frustrating for the person that is trying to communicate with you if you don't be honest. If you still don't understand what they're talking about, tell them again, and that will reduce stress, and maybe with some more context, they'll know what you're talking about. Now, the downside of all this is the person that initiates communication is going to have to say a few extra sentences to provide context. But I think that's a small price to pay to reduce stress in a relationship. Tip 3, there's times when we find ourselves in noisy environments, whether it's outside on a windy day, or riding in a car with a loud road noise, or maybe in a busy, noisy restaurant. In situations like that, we're going to have to elevate our voice a little bit. We're going to have to talk louder. Now, that can be uncomfortable sometimes, but it's the only way to make communication effective in a noisy environment. Tip 4, when you first wake up in the morning, your hearing is not the best. When you were laying down overnight, fluid redistributed in your body, and it went to your ears and your brain. Therefore, when you stand up first thing in the morning, your hearing is not the best it should be. After you've been on your feet for a while, the fluid redistributes itself, and your hearing returns to your baseline normal. So just remember, when you first wake up, talk slower and louder to your spouse, and chances are they'll be able to hear you. And then once the fluid redistributes, you can go back to your normal level of conversation. Now, finally, tip 5. Do not talk to your spouse if their back is turned to you. They will not hear you, and it will result in a stressful exchange. Say their name. Psychologists tell us that people love to hear their own name. When you address your spouse by their name, they will stop what they're doing, and they'll turn around and they'll look at you. And at that point, effective communication is facilitated. Say the person's name, they'll know they're in a conversation, and things should work out just fine. All right, those were just a few tips and suggestions on how communication can be improved in a relationship of retirement age couples. Now, if you're in or near the fourth quarter of life yourself, I'm sure that you and your spouse have developed different techniques or hacks to improve communication in your relationship. I'd like to hear what they are if you want to put them in the comments below. If you liked this video or found it useful, give it a like. And check out another one of my videos on a fourth quarter perspective on another degenerative health issue. Until next time, I'm Fortney, asking you to check back, let's interact, and always remember, God has your back.